Question 1. Two cyclists, Rick and Jerome, agree to meet exactly halfway between their houses. Jerome leaves his house at 9 o'clock and cycles at 18 kilometers per hour. How far has he cycled if he reaches the meeting point at 10:15? Well, how far is distance? Far is distance. So we're working out distance. So straight away, I'm thinking of the distance formula. Just going to delete that and put distance equals, distance is always on the top of the triangle, speed times, let's put it in capitals, speed times time. Okay, so I know we're working out distance. So what is the speed? The speed is 18 kilometers. So it's 18. So distance equals 18. And the time, well, they haven't actually given me the length of time. They've given me two times of day. So 9 o'clock to 10:15, that's an hour and 15. An hour and 15 is 1.25 decimal hours. 15 divided by 60 is 0.25. Then all I've got to do is times that together, and I get 22.5. And it's going to be kilometers, distance in kilometers, because it's kilometers per hour. So in the answer here, I put 22.5. And actually, the question in the answer box is giving me kilometers, which is quite nice. They sometimes do that. So you can't get your units of measurement wrong. And actually, the answer in kilometers shows you that you have to be working out distance. You get 1 mark for the method of 18 times 1.25. That's worth 1 mark. Another mark for the answer, in total 2. Part 2. This is going to link. Rick cycles at 13.5 kilometers per hour. So they're giving us speed. At what time? So we need to work out time. At what time must Rick leave his house to reach the meeting point at 10:15? So I need to work out how long it's going to take Rick, and then take that off 10:15, which is when he needs to meet. So we've got time equals distance over speed. Distance is always on the top. And the distance is going to be the same as Jerome, because they're meeting at halfway. And we've worked that out in the question above. Distance equals 22.5. And this is where, if you've done your working and you've got the first answer wrong, you'll get the method marks, or you'll get error carried forward. You can get full marks in this question if you show your working but get the wrong answer due to having the wrong distance, as long as you've got everything else right. The speed is 13.5. Get your calculator out and calculate it, and you should get 1.666 recurring, and that's in decimal hours, because speed is in kilometers per hour, and we've divided it by the distance. We divided by the speed. That is how long it takes in decimal hours. We need to convert that into hours and minutes. That's 1 hour, and 2/3 an hour is 40 minutes. And then you need to take an hour and 40 away from 10:15. Well, I might split that up into 1 hour, 15 minutes, and 25 minutes. Why have I done that? Well, because I can take away an hour from 10:15. So if it took him an hour, he'd have to leave at 9:15, but it takes him longer than that. Take away 15 minutes from 9:15 and you get 9 o'clock. And then take away 25 minutes away from 9 and you get 8:35. And our answer is 08:35. B. Convert Rick's speed into meters per second. This is nice and easy as long as you can remember the conversion rate. Can you remember it? It's to do with 3.6. And we're going to go from kilometers. What's Rick's speed? It's 13.5. Rick's speed is 13.5 kilometers per hour. No, I'm wrong. 13.5. and that equals, we times it by, no we don't, we divide by 3.6, and it equals 3.75, says my calculator, meters per second. Divide by 3.6 to go from kilometers to meters per second. Can't get the units of measurement wrong because they've given us that, 3.75. Make sure that hasn't disappeared. There we are, 3.75 meters per second. And lastly, part 3. Rick and Jerome then ride 56 kilometers in 3 hours and 30 minutes. Calculate their average speed. So we need to work out speed. It's fairly obvious. Speed equals distance is always on the top, divided by time. And the distance is 56 kilometers. And the time is 3 hours, 30 minutes. That's 3.5. So I need to divide by 3.5. Notice I'm using the slash here for the divide sign. So if you didn't do that or didn't know what to do, you can do that on the next one. And 56 divided by 3.5 equals 16 kilometers per hour. Why is it kilometers per hour? Because the distance was kilometers and you're dividing by decimal hours. So answer here. $16 kilometers in total. And that there is done. Before we clock off, just notice this one was asking for distance, this one was asking for time, this one was your conversion question, and this one was your speed. All 4 parts asked. Right, move on to the next question and learn from anything you got wrong in this one.